All right. With that last video, Shiva decided to intervene. And it was funny and quite unexpected, but my Shiva statue just crashed down the whole production. Om Namah Shivaya, Namaskara, Namaskara. Anyway, I was unceremoniously interrupted by Shiva. And Shiva is a Hindu deity, if you're not hip to Hindu pantheons. Hindu religion, spiritual technology, in my estimation, is very sophisticated. It is, in my estimation, the richest, the most bountiful. It is just Hindu spiritual technology. But Shiva, in the word itself, in Hindu etymology, the word origin and word components and what it means, she, that, va, which is not, or not, that which is not, or nothing, or void, if you will. And it's, of course, there's much more to it to that, but in its essence, that's what Shiva, and Shiva wasn't having it. So he broke it down for me. But just to finish up real quick, or Shiva is all encompassing. What I was trying to get to with the whole, I don't know, the whole perception is reality, the whole, the whole concept of of how our senses report reality to us, and what our mind, what our spirit, what our emotions, what our interpretation of our reality, how it can be different for each person. Each human being is very unique. In fact, I just was reading, I have a copy of The Gods Never Left Us by Eric von Daniken. This is an autographed copy too by Eric von Daniken. And there's I'm not going to hunt for the, he talks about how different each human being is, how vastly different every person is. And he makes the point that if, I said I wasn't going to search for it, and I'm sitting here searching for it. Oh, here it is right here. So this is, let me read this. This is from The Gods Never Left Us, Eric von Daniken. This is my autographed copy. He's talking about humans and UFO abductees and whatnot. Every human eye sees different things. The ears of a musician hear different details from mine. This makes each person unique, scientifically easy to prove. 8 billion people live on the globe. Talking about this globe, the Earth, for you multidimensional folks. But not one has the same fingerprint as their neighbor. Not one. The same is true of the genetic code. Each person is distinctive. And this also makes clear that the constant attempts of clever political men to make us all the same will forever remain an illusion. And then he goes on to say, if we were all identical, no extraterrestrial intelligence would bother with us, because each one would be the same as their neighbor. Contact with a single human being would be sufficient. Humanity would be of no interest. But now we are units that multiply with pleasure. Sex means the greatest pleasure. Then we collect information for a lifetime and pass it on through electrons. The ETs out there are dependent on our diversity. Now, and then he goes on to talk about artificial intelligence. But the point being, no human being is the same. And so I have, for your consideration, this is a feed from my security camera setup. And I mean, this is all from the same, this is all the same time, just different perspectives, you know, and this is all the reality immediately surrounding where I live, my little apartment where I live here in Austin, Texas. And oh, I'm watching them damn squirrels. That's really what this camera system is all about, because I got some marauder squirrels that I have to kind of keep up with. But so you see, here's one view. Look at that. That's sort of forlorn. That's sort of very, that's very Minnesota. What's that song by Soundgarden? I'm feeling California. No, I'm looking California, but I'm feeling Minnesota. So anyway, this is, you know, this is all the same reality. This is all just the same time. These are just images that I stopped, you know, from the feed, and you know, there's a hint of sunlight. There's a, but whatever your compartmentalization, your focus would be, you know, if you were confined to a room and all you saw of the reality was this photo right here from channel on the middle far right, and you saw that, and that was what the reality was being fed to you, was this forlorn looking, hazy, dark. But you know, that's just what the reality that's being fed to you is. And their further investigation of the reality from another perspective is, you see color, hint of color, the sun's coming up, hint of sun coming up. You know, there's color back here. You know, of course, there's a, you know, white trashy looking back patio with tools and stuff. But hey, what are you gonna do? And you know, here is you know, and then here's this same environment at another, taken from another time. And you see in my apartment, you know, that's from inside. But now things are becoming, you know, more evident. And but still, there's difference. But if your reality feed was limited to one perspective, and that's all you knew or all that you were capable of thinking, then that would, based on how you interpret perception, or how your sense, how you know, just based on the myriad of differentiation that we as humans possess, you know, it's just but anyway, I was trying to make the point about perspective and senses, the five senses. And here in this reality, I'm not meaning to shout. However, you know, you see, depending on how I have my camera settings set, and or what time or what, you know, this is the reality. And depending on your vantage point or where you're at, this is what you're going to get. And if this is all you know, and if you, and in the world that we live in is the same way. If you know, we rely on what our senses, the five senses, which we know are, they're wonderful tools of perception, but they only perceive a small, very small band of reality. And we know that, you know. So anyway, that's the point I was trying to make before Mighty Shiva came about, but it's all good. Namaste, namaskaram.